speaking of women telling men how to be men, there's a little bit of drama. There's a girl called Pearly Things. So she does red pill, manosphere content, right? Okay. You know Pearly Things. Yeah. She's white. That girl that sits down with a laptop and she'll bring like 5 or 6 harlots and tell them that you're a harlot, you'll never find a husband.
She tells them that?
Yes, not always in those words, but
basically that's what
but basically. So she had on future President Nicolas Fuentes. You know Nick Fuentes now, EA's boy. And so Nick Fuentes comes and says, look, we need to go back to Christian values. You understand? We need to remember that women are different from men. Race is real. People should preserve their racial heritage. Things like that. So of course the conversation was going from different places. So they're talking about slavery. You know how yes, slavery was wrong, but you know it was beneficial to. There are people who benefited from it. Yeah. Not all black people were slaves. Some black people owned slaves. Yes. Facts, like it's normal. You understand? And that's the thing, just a point on slavery. Just to point this out. People like to cry about slavery, but when you think about it really, what's the difference between slavery and employment? Yeah. Like the job that you're going to get right now. Yeah. Think about it. Most people's jobs is not sufficient for them to live. It's not sufficient for them to eat. But you have a job, yes, but you say you're not a slave. Are you sure you're not a slave?
The ones running to America to pack shit.
Yeah. So people should think very clearly the difference between slavery and employment. That would be a different point. But so she does this really, really nice episode with Nick Fuentes. Some of the highlights there were there. So one Italian girl was saying, oh, you know, I have a black boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, look, no Italian guy likes you. Like, nobody likes you.
I wish you luck, and, you know, I don't.
Wow.
I really don't. I don't wish luck to racists.
Oh, I'm not racist.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are, Nick.
Yeah, I am a little bit racist. But, listen, but it's not because I hate people. I love people. It's just, race is real. Race is real. Race is a part of us. So, hey, it is what it is.
And the Italians, we do not claim you.
Oh, hey, the Italians don't claim you. You're the one dating a black guy. The Italians don't claim me. They don't claim you.
Oh, no, they claim me. They claim me.
I don't think so.
They do.
Italian guys, yeah.
Italians,
tell an Italian guy about your affinity for black guys. That'll go over real well.
As an Italian, you shouldn't be doing that. You understand what I mean? And I agree with him. You know, and it's a very reasonable and common thing. People exist in tribes and groups for a reason. Yes. Right? And as much as possible, you want to preserve
your tribe.
You want to preserve that cultural heritage. Yes. So why are you going to, you can't find a good, honest Italian boy to marry and have Italian children with? If your parents behave like you, would you exist? It's such a simple thing. Yeah. So the episode goes out. It's a huge hit. Yay fans, you know, America First guys, you know, everyone was happy with the episode. Everyone was happy with it. But then the black people started getting triggered. Started getting offended. Racism. So she's platforming the racist. So Pearl comes out and she starts crying, basically, not tears, but you know, say, oh, I accept accountability. You know, I should have invited some black people on the podcast so that they can push back on him. But this girl was listening to President Nick, and she was like, yeah. She was agreeing with, like, because what the boy was saying was true.
The truth is the truth.
The truth is the truth. You can't say, oh, this boy is a truth teller. That they've removed from no-fly list, they've stolen his money, all these things, because of his commitment to telling the truth. I said, oh, let me go and bring some people that are black so that they can push back and can put camera on them and say, oh, let this black person challenge what someone is saying that is true. Muhammad Ali, isn't that what he said? Did Muhammad Ali say that, why should I have children that are not black and don't look like me? He said those things. I think Malcolm X too must have said something similar. But for some reason, when a white person says the same thing,
It's wrong.
It's wrong, it's racist. Hulk Hogan too said something similar. They tried to remove him from WWF Hall of Fame. Yes! And it's like, what are we talking about?
What is it with telling the truth that is so wrong?
Exactly.
Like, what is it about telling? I know it will hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
But like, it is not about your feelings. It's about the truth. So what is it about the truth that makes people hate you and?
Yes. And you know the funny thing about the truth? The truth is always recognizable.
Yeah.
No matter how much of a Satanist you are, which most of these race hustlers, all these people crying about racism, no matter how much of a Satanist you are, when you hear the truth, you will recognize it. That's the beauty about it. So the only question is, how do you react to it?
Yeah.
Are you offended? You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do about it? But she went and said, oh, I take full accountability. Oh, I'm going to go. She said, I'm going to go on those black people's YouTube and take accountability. So she went on there. They're just lashing her, you know, saying that, oh, you're racist. So she's like, yes, it's true, I'm a racist. I'm like, your father is a top 0.5% in the world, married a white woman, has 6 white children, right? White, like you, which some people believe is an advantage, you understand? But your own response is to go and grovel before black people, brag that you had a black boyfriend once. That doesn't help you. That doesn't help. Now, the person that she said she wanted to invite to challenge President Nick, now turned against her. Black guy. The guy is completely irrelevant. The only reason we know him is because he comes on the girl's show. That's Pearl. I told you that she got 1 million subscribers in less than a year. You understand? That's how good her show is. But now her show is in flux. You know, she's angered. I just feel bad for her that she saw the truth and tried to deny it, and now she's paying the price. So, you know, the lesson for us is, I mean,
she should have just kept quiet and just ignore.
Big time. But because she's white, she's from Minnesota now, right? So Minnesota is one of the nicest, whitest places in America, and they feel bad for how nice and white and beautiful it is. So they started inviting all the Somalis, everybody, all the refugees, right? Within 10 years, Ilan Omar came out as a representative for Minnesota. You understand? So they have that disease, and I don't know. She doesn't appear to be a Christian, but you know, if you have some kind of basic fundamental religious principle, you will, and that's what actually drives Nick. Nick is a staunch Christian, or at least a Catholic, and that is what drives his belief that, you know, women should not be talking rubbish. You know what I mean? So the thing is, once you've lost your religion, your conviction, you will fall for anything.
Basically.
Right? Someone will tell you that you're racist and you believe them, when you know in your heart that you're not.
They're not, yeah. And you know, a lot of people are woke these days. They think they...
Yeah, even if they pretend to be right wing, they're actually woke at heart, which is what Pearl is.
A lot of people are woke, they try to be woke, they try to please the media, the internet, they try to be politically correct.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want to be hated, they want to be seen as, oh,
you want to be accepted by the world.
By the world, yeah.
The world that is filled with evil, that you know is filled with evil.
A lot of people want to be accepted these days. You know, even to the extent of living a lie.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people, I can't imagine going to my house and be unhappy.
Right.
You know, after living a lie for the whole day, you enter your house and then just feel terrible.
That is true. Like, okay, so one thing that came up was that Nick Fuentes made a joke about her black producer being late. Racist to say that black people are usually late, right?
But it's true.
Exactly. Right? In Africa, we call it African time.
African time, yeah.
In America, they call it colored people time. We are never on time. Have you ever been to a wedding that starts at that the time for the reception is 2 o'clock and it started at 2 o'clock? Please tell me.
They will tell you that African time now. Like, it's a thing that you should know that we're not going to start 2 o'clock.
It's crazy. This is a very practical example.
Yeah.
Last year, my colleague got married. The wedding invitation said 2 o'clock. I was there by 1:45. I took a picture and I sent to her. And my colleagues, they were laughing at me. Look at you, Mumu. Why are you going there at this time? It has not started now. I am there punctual. I am on time. The people that are late, that didn't come until 4 or 5 o'clock for a wedding that's supposed to start by 2, are laughing at me for being on time. They were joking. Her producer is a guy called Blessing in Nigeria. They made an observation that Blessing is always late. I think Nick made the observation that he's black, so he's usually late, right? And the black creators, the black YouTubers, they were saying that, oh, that's racist. It's racist for him to say that. Pearl came out and said, oh, it's true. I should have pushed back on him. He shouldn't be saying things like that. I shouldn't have been making those kinds of jokes in front of him. Do you know what she said? She said, yes, Blessing is very good, but he's always late. And he tells me that it's African time. So she admits that it's true, but because Nick Fuentes is white.
And she's white.
And that's the stupid part. She's white, but she said, oh, we should not be making those kinds of jokes in front of Nick. But it's something that everybody knows. Like, it's a surprise when black people are on time. It is. Jesse had this H.M. Davis guy on. He's a black guy.
Yes, I appreciate it.
And the beauty about it that you're black and you made it on time.
I did.
Most blacks are late.
Well, not all of us. But,
Yeah.
you know, it's a cultural thing. Sometimes we just got to make people wait.
Isn't that amazing?
And he said, wow, you're black and you're on time. He says that whenever he has had more than 1,000 people on the show. Whenever he has a black guest, they are never on time. Never. But he said any other race, they are the ones usually waiting for him because he is black. Do you see? You understand? And that's the thing about like us doing shows, things like that. Remember, we've had people on our show. Most of them are never on time.
Yeah.
Right? I've been on my friend Lizzie. Lizzie does Elizabeth. She does horoscope content on Instagram and YouTube. She's huge. She's going places. Right? She tells me that her show, Instagram Live, the show is called Lizzie's Couch. You should check it out. I was on there. The show is a live show. It's an Instagram live show. It starts by freaking 7 o'clock. Right? I'm there by 6. Why? Because the show is live.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to be there on time so that anything, if you need, whatever it is, makeup, whatever. When she invited me, she invited 2 or 3 of her friends. Her friends called her by 7:15. That, oh, sorry, I can't come. Do you get? So, what is that other than African time? Because when somebody tells you, if you are doing something media related, this is a secret. If you are doing something media related, and they tell you, oh, we start recording or we go live by 7, you have to be there by 6.
Yeah.
Minimum. Jackie Chan tells the story now about when he was working with Chris Tucker on the set of
Chris Tucker? Yeah. Even though I don't like him in the beginning. And he was late on the set. I was 7 o'clock call. I was 6:30. I already make up standing. I'm filmmaker. Yeah, standing here. Then he just come 11 o'clock late. Yeah, late and late. Except one day he come to my motorhome. Jackie, can you come later?
You're making me look bad.
Yeah, you make me look bad. I said, no, that's my job.
On the set of Rush Hour. Filming starts by 7, he's there by 6. Makeup done, everything done. This man doesn't come until 11.
He's always late. That's what I said. He said he's always late.
To the point that Chris Tucker went and met him and said, oh, yeah, you should be coming late too, so that I don't look bad. That's what he told Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan said, no, I'm a filmmaker. This is what I do. Like, you are wasting not just my time, you're wasting everybody else's time.
Producer's time.
You're wasting producer's time.
You're wasting money.
We're wasting money. You understand? So when people, think about it. Why they don't usually cast black actors. Remember there was a thing. And people say, oh, they don't cast black actors. Exactly. Because your guys are time wasters.
Terrible attitude as well.
There was one DJ, or I think one of these guys from the Breakfast Club, right? Yes, he was talking to DMX. And DMX was talking about how when they were filming, whether Cradle to the Grave or one of those shows, that he would just leave.
Let me tell you how generous DMX was.
Okay.
This is when I was producing. DMX flew me down to LA when he was shooting a movie. But the reason I knew DMX was so big is in the middle of the movie, he stopped filming. It was like, Envy, let's go fly helicopters. And we went to the store, we bought remote control helicopters and started flying helicopters in the middle of the set. Now, who was the guy that you were doing the film with at the time?
Jet Li.
Jet Li. Jet Li was a little guy because Jet Li had to wait there in his trailer for 5 hours until DMX stopped.
Priorities.
Stopped doing these helicopters.
Priorities.
And I said, this guy is crazy. But we did it for like 8 hours and Jet Li just sat there and waited.
Hey, he's cool.
He's fine with it.
Yeah.
Just leave his trailer and go and fly toy helicopters for 4 hours. Then he'll come back. Meanwhile, Jet Li is there waiting for him. The producers are waiting for him. So the guy from Breakfast was like, yes, DMX is gangster. He does whatever he wants. But they are wasting this man's time. They're wasting his production company's money. But black people are proud of their lateness. And Pearl is apologizing for it. Something that we know.
The things our race is known for are just terrible, disgrace. Twerking, misbehaving.
Black people claim twerking as their culture.
Yeah.
They claim it that we don't want to see any white girl twerking because it's our culture. So your culture is to shake your nyash like a baboon. Then when they call you monkey, you start crying.
It's just terrible. It's just terrible. Black Americans are a disgrace.
Yes, because a black boy, Colin does many stories on this. A black boy will be going to school, he will be reading, he will be doing his homework, his friends will come and clown on him, they will bully him, they will beat him, and they'll say you're acting white. Reading your book, doing your homework, being on time is acting white.
Doing the right thing is white.
Yes.
Talking like a normal person.
Talking properly, after living in America for 400 years, talking like a normal human being, a normal American is acting white. Meanwhile, our boys, like Nigerian guys that go to America, maybe from the age of 6 or something, by the time they are 17, they are talking like Fox News presenters.
Artistically intense.
Well, you know all about opportunities. You came to this country from Nigeria at age 8.
Yeah, 8 years.
And in the beginning, could people understand what you were saying?
No, not really. I spoke with a very thick accent, and I'd say it was difficult trying to adapt to the new environment and absorb everything, the new culture. But my parents set a very good example for me and my.
And your parents were doctors.
I've seen that story before. Yeah. So my question is, if you can learn how to speak like a normal person, because that's how a normal American speaks. That all that their stuff is not normal. It's an act that they have to put on. Because the ones that finally end up going to the job, to go and apply for jobs, they know how to talk.
They talk properly.
They talk properly.
Yeah. But when they're back in the hood.
When they're back in the hood, they are, with their niggas.
You have to act the part.
Yeah. So they are acting, they are pretending. Yeah, sorry.
This guy is in jail now.
Oh.
Young Talk. There's this guy.
Yeah. I don't know who he is, but I know of his bad guys.
So there's a video of one of his friends, one of his gang members, who was in interrogation room with police. I saw it. It's on YouTube. 1 hour plus. Yeah. And this guy is claimed to be real niggas and stuff like, real niggas, I'm tough, I'll go to jail before I snitch, all those things. And These guys were just like tap.
The guy was just singing.
It was even once the Nazi.
The guy sang new album.
Bro, the guy has been an informant for years.
But he comes out and he's like with the guns, I know stitches get stitches, end up in ditches.
You know, he wears trousers, walks as a train,
right.
Timberland,
right.
guns,
right.
You know, forming bad guy.
Yeah.
But like it is all a lie.
Mm.
Like, you know, you can, for example, you're having a bad day, right? And you just enter your house and all that just goes away. Like, you just feel at peace. Like, oh, I'm in my own house, I'm in my space, and you're alone, you just feel this peace within yourself. Right? But these people, they don't have that, because when they're alone, their life is terrible, because there's no peace, there's no real happiness.
It's true.
You know, you live a facade, like your life is not real.
It's true.
You live to meet up to, they call it survival, but it's not survival.
Yeah.
You know,
So,
doing gang and they say, oh, if you're in the hood, you have to sell drugs to survive.
No, you actually don't.
You don't.
And it's true, like, I'm sure there'll be black boys that like Yu-Gi-Oh! You know what I mean? But they just can't express it because they'll get clowned on.
Yes. Because
or whatever thing.
The way they dress to the kids, and you know, most of the young ones are heavily influenced by the music and the people they grew up with.
Yeah.
And they see all these things, and you know, even from a young age, they start dreading their hair. You know,
do you know who Woo-Wop is? Woo-Wop.
No.
Woo-Wop is like a 6-year-old child that does freestyle battles. It's kind of like a meme. I'm still trying to figure out whether Woo-Wop is a boy or a girl. But, you know, they're already putting earrings, the hair is already braided. I think it's a boy.
I think it's rubbish. A child of, you know, you can grow the child's hair out if you wish to. You can. I don't mind my son's hair just growing, you know. But when you start plaiting his hair, when you start plaiting a child's hair to go to primary school,
you're already putting him on that path.
You are not. Yes, it is
a thug, I think.
You see, the child does not need that. You don't need to spend time plaiting his hair.
And it's effeminate too.
Do you understand?
That's my main thing about guys doing dreads and doing braiding your hair. You're a woman, sorry. Because they buy attachments.
Yeah.
Guys are going and buying attachments. And you say you're a man, you want your women, oh, black women don't respect you, but you are the one dragging for attachment with them during the riots.
Yeah.
So, like, how do you want your women to respect you when you sit down in the night and be removing earring?
Dangling
earring. You two, you remove earring. And you say, oh, you're a gangster. You two are doing nose ring.
Crazy, man.
They fight over shoes. They are guys, they are black men that have more shoes than their women. Am I wrong? They care about fashion. Oh. You understand? Meanwhile, the man, the white man your girlfriend works for, plain guy, but she takes orders from him. She respects him more than she respects you.
Yeah.
And you are crying.
Racism.
You know, yeah.
America doesn't
like, black women don't respect us.
America doesn't like black people.
Your life is about sneakers.
They kill for sneakers.
They kill each other for sneakers.
Jordan.
And you go to the barbing salon to cut your hair. You are braiding it like a woman. Then when somebody notices it, they say, "Oh, racism," because the person is not black. For example, the role of white people in that dance, because I think white people should, like Scott Adams says, just get away from blacks in terms of you can't go like Pearl did and go and start groveling and you think that helps you or helps anybody. It doesn't, because that gap cannot be bridged. It can't be bridged. So no matter how much you go and you let yourself get flagellated, you get these people to insult you and insult your race by extension,
to make yourself feel better,
to make them feel better. It's not helpful.
It's not worth it.
Going around bragging that you had a black boyfriend at one point in your life doesn't change anything.
I think most of them even just dates just to be able to say, oh,
I'm not racist. That is true.
I'm not racist.
Let me tell you,
black boyfriend.
Bro, this is why qualifiability is immortal. He did a story about how in some of these white schools, like the bars around, there are these black guys, right? Just black guys in general. Around 3 o'clock when the girls are coming out drunk, all that stuff, they just drive and just go up to a white girl. I say, oh, can you come and hang out with the boys? Come and hang out with me, sorry. Me. When the white girl's like, no, I don't want to hang out with you. It's like, oh, are you racist? Your dad telling you not to be racist. Like, no, I'm not racist, okay, I'll come with you. The black guy would take her to the apartment. Maybe just one small bed. Sometimes it would be just him, but most times there's like 5 guys there. So she has to just, if she doesn't want to die or something terrible, she just has to, if she resists, of course she gets raped. If she doesn't, she just has to take everything and go out following them. So he was talking about a police officer that used to see these girls when they're coming out. You understand? So blacks obviously understand that white people are very conscious of racism, of the accusation of racism, and white people will do anything, right? Look at San Francisco, where they say, oh, they are giving every black San Francisco resident $5 million.
Why? $5 million.
California never had any slaves.
To buy more guns and drugs.
And bitches and murder, yeah.
They're giving each family $5 million.
Each black person, not each family.
Why?
I don't know.
Are they going to do it?
It's a proposal. They will look for the money to do it. If they're actually going to do it.
Why would they do that?
Because they're racist now.
No, it's going to cost. No, me, I'm saying it is going to cost more harm than good in the long run.
Why do you say that?
Because they'll go and buy things that they'll use to arm each other, they'll definitely buy more guns. Like, no, it's good to have guns. Yeah. I'm saying, black people,
black people don't buy guns, they steal guns, let's be honest. Most black people who do crime with their guns, you can't even do crime with a registered weapon. Right? You have to steal someone's gun and do whatever nonsense you want to do.
That's insane. I saw the news, but why? $5 million.
It's as stupid as it sounds.
Not $5,000.
No, they say slavery, historic inequality, black people have more disease, so
they should, instead of giving them the money, why not develop their foods?
Because that has been tried many times before.
And they destroy it.
And it doesn't
so
work.
You think giving them money is going to...
Look, there's no form of reparations that has been proposed that has never been tried. Slaves, they were slaves, whatever, they freed them. Within the next 50 years, 95% of black people were illiterate. Right? Mm-hmm. So after the injustice of not teaching you to read, we've taught you how to read. You can read now, you can write now, therefore you can establish your own society. Yeah. You have a parallel society, right? Separate but equal. Whatever federal money is coming, whatever state money is coming, will give you equal amount. You have the right to your own schools, right? You have the right to your own hospitals, you have the right to your own businesses, but they say no, we want integration. In terms of reparations, black people have been compensated 3, 4, 5, 6 times over. Because you have free education, right, for your children. You have federal benefits for being black, right? 25% of all federal contracts must go to a black person. Must. It's not a discretion. What's the percentage of black people in America? That's 13%. Right? But they're getting 25% of all government contracts.
How many are Asian people getting?
I don't know whether Asian people are mentioned in that particular Title IX policy or whatever it may be. But you see that, like, there's a recognition that, okay, fine, sorry, we were flogging you sometimes when you refuse to pick. the harvest, right? So, so take twice the amount of government contracts that you are entitled to. Take twice. But the problem is many of them, even those black contracts, many of those black company owners cannot even fulfill the criteria. There was one now where there was that hurricane in Puerto Rico, and President Trump approved something like 170 million for relief, for people to provide disaster relief. And this black company, the woman has only maybe 4 people. She got the contract. That is, your company only employs 4 staff members, and you got the contract to supply 100,000 meals to starving people in Puerto Rico. But because she's black, you get the job. And because there were no other qualified people, they couldn't even get the best qualified person. Of course, she failed to deliver. But luckily, somebody from FEMA just said, yes, we've given her the contract, but we will also earmark another company to do the contract. It was that person that ended up fulfilling the order. They couldn't fulfill it. How can you expect 4 people to fulfill 100,000 meals within a short time? You know, it was disaster relief, so
they did it ASAP, so
they have to do it ASAP. So all the time I say, like one woman that was running for president, Marion Williams, and she said that we will give black people 100 billion as reparation. We will get Oprah and 2 other black people, we'll give them the money to distribute it to you guys.
Oprah will take 50%.
Bruh. Trump said Trump that was trying to win 2020, he said 500 billion. He said he'll give, he said Ice Cube will do it. They call it, platinum plan. So black people, like, as much as Pearl is trying to say, the blacks, I don't want to offend black people are, like, especially American blacks, they are just babies that everybody is trying to take care of. Let's help them.
Yes.
Let's do this so that they will vote for us. Like that Brittany Griner. Like look at how President Trump went over and beyond for A$AP Rocky. A$AP Rocky had assaulted 3 people in Sweden. President Trump, like, he used all the fire and might to bully Sweden. Because in Sweden, in many European countries, they don't have like bail. There's not like bail. If you are arrested for a crime, you are going to stay in the jail until they've decided what to do with you. President Trump pulled out all the diplomatic power that America has. He was making threats on Twitter to get this guy released. He was released. The guy didn't say thank you. Not even thank you. Sir, thank you. You understand? But he's doing it just to pander to black people that, blacks now, they don't know anything now. You know, they don't know that it's a crime to go and be attacking people. It's true. That is the mentality. Like Michael Chandler, we called him out. Right? They adopt a black baby, like Amy Barrett, the Supreme Court Justice. She went to Haiti to go and adopt 2 black children. Then when George Floyd was getting justice, she was like, I was crying with them. What about your white children? You need to cry with your white. You understand? So that is just. So black people are just pawns.
Pawns is.
They're just. So obviously, President Trump did that. Like Biden did the Brittany Griner thing for votes, right? Just like Kamala Harris, she came to Ghana. So they put like kente cloth, but she stayed inside the plane for most of it. She didn't even enter.
That one. The very sniffing cocaine inside the plane.
As much as she's like a crazy psycho harlot that steals people's husband, like I actually would like to have her on this podcast. I don't want to listen to her and talk because she's a prosecutor like me. She put a lot of people in prison, which I like. But she's crazy. I want to laugh with
So I decided.
That was a stupid laugh. Fucking witch.
That woman is a drug addict.
No, big time. Big time. She has admitted as much. She said she smoked weed. So she said on Breakfast Club.
I'm not talking about weed. I'm talking about like
she look like the proper stuff.
No, yeah, it's not weed.
Yeah, she's on stronger stuff.
It's not weed. It's definitely not. I've watched different press conferences where like I know this one is
she's not there.
It's not weed. It's definitely not weed. And I think all these elected officials, they have easy access to some of the
big time.
They have easy access to it.
Drop the EP. Legit top 5 in the city competitions right here. Swear. All I know now, so miles don't got no time. Slime, I got mad lines. Up tempo, make I catch my vibe. Yeah, look, chopsticks. Yeah. Shout out Ice Prince walking, I'm giving my all to the art. 80% of my vest from the heart. Me, I believe in being creative. I put in the time and I put in the work. I put on my tata, I give all to God. Trust in the process, believing in me. Everything calm in due time, guy. Wait for your time, make it no kind of rush. Me know they dog, I know be baller. Roll up the loud, make we touch on cloud now. I do it for the love and I do it for the city. Every J saying God, what? Me not bad guy. Again.